Beautiful day, growth and marketing with Machen Mathews here. It's Sunday, it's April 30th. I'm going to record today our second episode of the Growth and Marketing podcast. Today, we're going to talk about getting eyes on the business and what to do in order to get more people into the business. And what do we do once somebody sees our business? We look at places like Starbucks, who have a coffee shop on every corner. And really what they're doing is they're branding. They're getting your eyes on their brand so that when you think coffee, you think that one name. Same thing happens when we reach for that box of stuff that we put on our nose to wipe our nose. What is that called? That thing. It's not called a Kleenex. It's called a tissue, but we call it a Kleenex. Or like when we get a cut or a scrape and you put that thing on it. What's that thing called again? Oh yeah. Not a Band-Aid, it's called a bandage, right? So it's that type of mentality that we talk about having eyes on the business. So where do we get these eyes on the business? Maybe I got a little drawing over here. When we look at the eyelashes, maybe this is joint venture. You've gone out, you've got partners in business and you're using other people's audience, or you're using social media. Maybe you use Facebook like I'm using right now to create new connections and meet new people. Maybe it's print and advertising or digital marketing of different sorts, all sorts of different ways to get eyes on the business. And once we do that, we need, in my opinion, and something I've perhaps didn't preface, but I've been doing marketing, sales, building business online, both as a designer, developer, nerd, or whatever you want to call it. And as a sales, marketing, business development guy. I worked in corporate for 15 years, or I worked in corporate for several years. I've been in this game of corporate sales, business to business, software sales, internet sales, things like that for 15 plus years. And so in that time, what works then doesn't always work now. And sometimes what worked way back then works again. And so in that series of trends, I just want to share with you, when we get eyes on the business, we need to have people raise their hand and essentially say, hey, I need what you solve, the problem you solve. So a lot of us have been taught to distill our business into a single sentence. I've even heard it be said that if you can't tell me your business in one or two sentences, then you don't have a business. I think that's kind of fair that as business owners, we should at least be that clear. And it may be something like, I help blank who you help to problem you solve. Now you have a sentence, a business sentence. Now you have a elevator pitch or whatever you want to say for your business. So when we have eyeballs on the business and you're saying who you help, maybe you can get someone to raise their hand. Maybe it's your PDF guide. Maybe it's your 6 steps. Maybe it's your new video, your hack or your template or your guides, or maybe it's a free trial of your software or a free scoop of ice cream, right? It's your fast, free, and special. And by special, I mean something special and unique to the audience, not something shiny and glowing and that form of special. So as we try out various methods to get eyes on the business, we share our business statement and essentially ask someone if they would like to raise their hand. If someone raises their hand to getting that fast, free, special thing that you offer, then they're one step closer to making a purchase with you. This is why a lot of the time when we look online, we see websites that say, hey, come to my workshop or get my free guide or start your free trial. No credit card needed. There's an exchange happening there. You're sharing your name and your email address typically in order to get access to something. That something is fast, free, and special, especially solving a problem that you're facing typically, if you're going to be the person that converts. So as business owners, we should definitely turn that hat around and look from our customer's side and say, what is that thing that they help me with? What problem is it that person helps me solve? Are they an authority in their field? Are they an expert in their field? Can they really help me? Those are the questions. You got about 2 or 3 seconds to answer those questions visually, in my experience. So now that we've answered that and we've gotten a yes to each of those, now you have an opportunity. Now it's time to get them to raise their hand. If they raise their hand, you give that thing of value, that guide, that top tip, that that free ticket to your event, that pre-webinar training, whatever it is. And then you go for the sell. And if for some reason someone doesn't take that first sell, maybe it's your number one flagship product, the number one thing that you offer. Let's say you're a weight loss coach, and this is access to your 6-week email training, where each Monday you get a training for the week, right? And a calendar for the week or something of this nature. Well, inside of that, there needs to be something that you're offering that is an actual sell. So maybe your one-on-one time, or maybe your more intensive program gets sold. At this point, we have the opportunity to bring value that way exceeds. If in my opinion here, I don't want to put anybody down, I don't want to be that guy, but we should all consider the value of what it is that we offer. And if that product can provide factors more of value back to somebody, then I think we're doing a good job. For example, if I'm going to sell a book and I'm going to put a $10 price tag on that book, I want that book to have $1,000 worth of value in it, minimal. I want it to be transformational. And that's the kind of thing that allows us to get that next sell, that upsell, as you may have heard it, or a continuity sell. If you have a business where most of your income comes from that first one-time sell, then there should be some other items you offer that are in the continuity range. They're in the continuity world. Something dinged, and I've never heard that sound in my office before, but I'll avoid being distracted. With all this being said, I just really want to share with you, there are always going to be people that say yes and say no, and there's some people that are going to be rude. Forget those people, they're the worst. But it will never be the right time for everybody all the time. We need to find a way that if we're offering if we're putting energy into getting eyeballs in the business and offering a solution, we need to find out if somebody wants that solution. And if they do want it, we ask them to raise their hand. And if they do want it, we need to find out how fast they want that, right? Now, later, etc. And oftentimes, the majority of the time, 70% plus of the time, it's going to be later. And that can be exhausting. It can kill the energy. It can make you think weird things, like maybe you're not good, or maybe you should be doing something else or whatever. Oh, thanks for the love. I see the love, Taryn. I want you to avoid those thoughts and really focus on what is it that we can measure, like the number of people that we got eyeballs into the business, the number of people that requested more information, the number of people that said, yes, sure, that's a great number, but also the number of people that said no, and maybe even why they said no. And ultimately, the most important part of all of that is following up. I think Gary Vee's written books about it. Ryan Holiday's written books about it. I'm just thinking there's so many marketers, philosophers, business pros, mentors, etc., that talk about consistency and follow-ups. Right. So that's what we're talking about today. If you've got someone's email address, you should have a system to follow up with them. And if you're going to put social media out there, if you're going to be doing joint venture and all sorts of other ways to get eyeballs on the business, perhaps consider giving value a few times before you ask for something at all. Today, I'm going to make an ask. I'm going to ask that you come check out the Growth and Marketing podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm putting this content out on Instagram, Facebook, Clubhouse, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. You're not supposed to say all those names, so watch me get banned. But they're all out there. There's all these platforms. We can all be using them. But I would really love to have your support in doing this each and every day. Just give value each and every day. And all I'm going to ask for in return is that you let us know that you love it, that you come give it a rating, you come give it a thumbs up, you drop a heart in chat, or ask a friend. If you really get some value, ask a friend to tune in. Invite somebody into the group, wherever you found this. And I would love to have a conversation with you one-on-one. So feel free to share any screenshots, snap a screenshot of what's on your screen right now, share it to your story, tag me in the story. We can have a conversation about business anytime. I love that. And I love your support. Thank you so much. I'm gonna get out of here. I just want to share with you before we bounce. You can get eyes on the business and share unbelievable offers to get people to raise their hands for that chance to work with them and provide a transformation, a valuable transformation to their business. That will earn you the right to ask again and again and again and again. And recap, if at any point somebody falls off of that, but they are interested, we want to continue to follow up. We want to continue to give value so that when we ask next week, next month, next year, we've earned that right to have a yes, right? We've earned that right to ask at the very least. And if the yes doesn't come, that's outside of control. But that being said, I'm going to get out of here. Lots of love. Follow along, Machen Mathews, Facebook, Instagram, etc. All the same. You can go find that username. Lots of love. See you guys at the top or to the left decimal for all of our crypto lovers out there.